What's up, fam? I'm your host, Jack Stedham. Joining me today, as always, my co-host and longtime best friend, Abe Branoff.
Don't disrespect me like that.
That had nothing to do with
You're just speeding through it. It's like, give me my moment.
This isn't your moment, brother, I promise. I didn't speed
Rarely is it my moment, I've learned.
Why?
It's just how life goes.
Okay. It's deep, it's dark. Is that what's on your mind today, or that's
No, but
else?
Are you forgetting something?
Today we're in the
Stew! Yeah. All right.
What's on your mind?
What's on my mind? Life and death, brother.
Okay.
Where do you want to start? Life or death?
Give me the good.
The life. Something was born today, Jack. The super fam. If you're watching on the YouTube right now, you probably see Jack and I fitted out in all black, but there's one thing notable. What do you have on your head there, Jack?
I have a hat.
Oh, it's pretty. It's a pretty hat.
It's Steeler colored, though.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, I got the wrong box.
Pittsburgh Penguins colors.
Well, that doesn't help either.
You're not a Penguins fan.
I'm anti-Pittsburgh. Except the Pirates. I like the Pirates.
Wake Forest colors.
No.
Nope. Wichita State.
Closer.
That's black and yellow.
Yeah.
Well, the hats are in, and the super fam has been born. How do they get a hold of those pretty things?
The super fam has been birthed, but you may not come see the baby yet. So the baby is not alive and cooking yet, but we will be offering a super fan membership to our biggest fans, our first 1,000 fans.
Why don't you be a little bit more excited about it? It's a super fam.
Yeah, it's like
super fam.
It's just we're not live yet, so it's tough to get excited about. But once it goes live, you all will be the first to know. But the hats are in. There's 18 boxes downstairs. We got this color, white, black, royal blue, something else. The first, because the people who are getting the hats first are before Superfam, are the people who have bought tickets to the MLB Stadium tour. Which
plug.
Yeah, it will just. What else? Sign up for underdog code Snapback and buy your chicken tenders. It's Tendy Tuesday. Yesterday.
So that's life, death. The Golden State Warriors.
Oh,
they're dead. I'm burying them today. Why? Because someone that doesn't even play for their team quit on them. What's his name?
Bob Myers.
Bob Myers. Bob Myers resigns as the Warriors GM, who put together the dynasty that was the Golden State Warriors. And this to me says, I'm not going to be the one to pay Wash Draymond and Wash Clay $40 million. Someone else will have to do it. That's the only reason he stepped away. But this to me is the first domino that falls, in my opinion, of the Warriors not being the Warriors anymore. And I don't think this core of Steph, Draymond, and Clay, I don't think they have one more in them at this point. I would not be surprised if Clay or Draymond are not a part of the Warriors. More likely Draymond because he's an objectively horrible basketball player.
Someone said, respect to Bob Myers for quitting one of the best jobs ever, where he is held in the highest of praises after delivering one of the greatest dynasties of all time. He quit to show respect to Draymond and Clay because he couldn't stand to tell them to their face,
"You're washed."
Yeah, I can't pay you. I can't pay you that money. But you know what? If the new guy can, good for you, and maybe that will bury the. But what if in sports we love to romanticize the team-friendly deal. Tom did it. It made him the GOAT.
Harden did it this year.
Harden did it. It got him to Game 7 of the second round, which is a couple games more than normal.
It's usually right around there, Game 7.
As Draymond and Clay are kind of on the verge of these next contracts, it really does beg the question, because someone will pay Klay Thompson. I actually do think someone will pay Draymond. Am I talking like Supermax extension? No, that ship has sailed. But also, Klay and Draymond have made their money. They're good for life. They've made real NBA money. Do you think that they would take the team-friendly deal, and would you still bury them if, let's say, obviously Steph will get paid, but if Draymond and Clay were like paid as role players, they found a way with all their assets, they moved Jordan Poole off the team, maybe they moved Wiggins, but then that cleared up space.
Are you asking me if a team with Steph Curry and 2 max slots, I think, can win a championship?
1 max slot.
Yes. Duh.
So,
I just don't foresee that
happening. You don't think it'll happen?
No.
Who do you think is more likely to take a team-friendly deal? Is it Draymond or is it Clay?
I think the answer is Draymond, because I think even though he is the most obnoxious human being on the face of the earth, he does have a little bit of self-awareness and realizes that if it's not the Warriors, it's the podcasting microphone for me, and that's about it. He does love doing the podcast, so it appears. But it's as simple as there's going to be a heavy market for a shooter rather than a market for
a shooter who makes shots or just someone who shoots.
To each their own. Rather than a market for someone who is glorified Ben Simmons.
Okay.
So if all that works out and they're team friendly and this, that, but I've learned in my life, in sports, with my friends, with anybody, people like money and more of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
because in the team friendly, if they were like, you know what, we could run it back, and Harden learned this the hard way, just because you take the team friendly deal doesn't necessarily guarantee anything. So on the flip, Clay, Draymond could be sitting there like, yeah, I have 4 championship rings.
Right.
How about you pay me $4 million more a year to go play in? I don't know. I do think the fact that it's Golden State brings a little bit of love. Like, I don't think you take team-friendly deals if you get stashed away in Oklahoma City. But you're in the Bay Area. You're in the tech scene. You got good connections out
taxes.
there. High taxes is a good point. So, yeah, we'll see. I think that Clay would walk before Draymond, but I also think that Draymond's services could be used elsewhere more so than Clay.
Where else does someone need to get punched in the face? What services could be
Philly?
utilized elsewhere?
You guys were excited about PJ Tucker.
We don't need someone to get punched.
Bullying. Maybe that was what he needed.
I did say that in my rant. I was like, PJ should be held accountable for not only not getting in their ears, but for not assaulting them.
Right.
But yeah, I don't foresee anyone wanting a bad basketball player on their basketball team.
We don't have time for this.
How about that? It's June and we're talking about the Warriors.
Well, the funniest part is, I made all this conniption about how we have to respect the Nuggets and the Heat, and we got to build up the storylines and talk about them, and then we're starting off the podcast with the Warriors talk. But hey, this is what was on your mind, so that was all you. What's on my mind is the NBA Finals are here. The Denver Nuggets will face off against Miami Heat in Game 1 on Thursday night on ABC, ESPN,
NBA TV,
CNN,
Twitch, wherever. If LeBron does something cool, it'll be like picture-in-picture at the bottom right of your screen on ESPN.
Yeah, the Taco Bell commercial. Jokic is going to have a full circle moment. He got drafted during the Taco Bell commercial, and the LeBron Taco Bell commercial, I'm sure, will get more airtime than the actual game during the finals. But in all seriousness, we are here, the Denver Nuggets versus the Miami Heat, 8 seed versus the 1 seed. The convo without the finals even starting has already evolved into a million different things, but there were 3 days off, so people didn't have, they had to start with the storylines about how the Nuggets will face a 8 seed, a 4 seed, a 7 seed on their way, or 6 seed on their way, and then an 8 seed in the championship. Is this the weakest ring of all time?
Some are saying.
You got I think most people are just respecting Miami at this point. They were an 8 seed that made the NBA Finals, but people are picking the Nuggets in 4 or 5, so they're really not. But the real question that we're beginning with, Tyler Hero practiced today. There's an expectation he could be back as early as Game 3, which would be Game 1 in Miami. If you were the Heat, if you were a Heat fan, would you want Tyler Hero back?
No. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'm a firm believer in that. And if I was Tyler Hero, I don't want to play. Because listen, the team has been thriving without you. You're going to get your ring. You have your money. You have your fits. The last thing that you need, even if it's not your fault, if you go out there and you're Tyler Hero after not playing for the first, he didn't play against Milwaukee, I don't believe, did he?
No, he got hurt.
He got hurt against Milwaukee, maybe. Even if you're Tyler Hero and you go out there, and maybe it's not your fault. Maybe you don't have a horrible game. Maybe you're on a 20-minute restriction and you just play your role, hit it 2 shots or something and come out. Doesn't matter. Like, what's the difference when they lose versus win? Tyler Hero wasn't on the court. Tyler Hero is on the court. And then you get the potential of the internet memeing you with your fits over the last 3 weeks and your performance and the loss. So if I'm the Miami Heat, I'm not bringing him back unless, like, there are extreme circumstances where you have to mix things up. If it's 2-1, if it's 3-0, maybe you bring back Tyler Hero. But I'm shocked that they came out and said he's definitely coming back Game 3.
I don't know if they said that.
They did.
Did they?
Yeah, they said Game 3 is probably when he's coming back. So if I was if I was the Heat, I wouldn't do it. If I was Tyler Hero, I wouldn't want to do it.
Yeah, if I'm Tyler Hero, I don't want it. If I'm a Heat fan, I actually think Game 3 is the perfect time. If they're down 2-0 in the series, it's clearly not on Tyler Hero. If it's 1-1, you keep delaying it. Or maybe he plays 8 minutes and he plays 12 minutes, gets his conditioning back. If they're up 2-0, you can't play him. You literally cannot play him at that point. If I am the Miami Heat, as much as I like to pick on Tyler Hero, right, and make fun of his defense and how he's really not that good of a player, he's a plus in my opinion because we've seen Haywood Highsmith have to play minutes. We've seen Kevin Love's minutes get cut. We've seen Zeller's minutes get cut. They cannot roll 7 guys out for an entire series. Games 5, 6, 7, sure. But games 1 through 4, you got to play your guys. Butler and Bam can't play 43 minutes. So Tyler Hero,
why not?
It's just not how it works. You get it's a thing. Like you get
if you're LeBron,
you get drained.
You get
it's
drained.
a thing. You just don't play the 42 minutes in games 1 or 2 when you can. Like you play a normal rotation in the first couple games of the series, at least in the first half of the first series. So if he's back for game 3, you play him his minutes. Hopefully he gives you good minutes. If not, you can always pull the plug. So I understand the cautionary tale of what's not broke, don't fix it. But he's probably the 3rd best player, and he's the 2nd best offensive player on the team. When the second he comes back,
Caleb Martin playing the way he is right now, Tyler Hero being
still
out
not
of month.
Tyler Hero.
I disagree.
Assuming at full strength, full health, Tyler Hero is a 20-point per game scorer. Now, Caleb Martin,
Tyler Hero is also 20-point per game give up score.
maybe, but
Where Caleb Martin has been able to hold it down defensively.
for sure. But you know who is playing 30 minutes, who's not scoring 20 points per game, is Duncan Robinson.
And Bam Adebayo.
And they got to hide Duncan Robinson on defense, and they got to hide Bam Adebayo on offense. So instead of hiding Duncan Robinson, like I think Hero offers you more than Duncan Robinson, especially. Stop.
Disagree. Duncan has been huge for them in these playoffs. Like I don't care in the macro view, you are correct, right? If you're talking over the entire season, Duncan Robinson or Tyler Hero, who's going to be more effective? The answer is Tyler Hero. If the playoffs are what have you done for me lately? As simple as that. Like
but Duncan Robinson also has many games where he's not shooting well, but because of their lack of depth, he's remaining in the lineup, and they're still having to hide him. He missed 2 shots to win Game 6. Like Tyler Hero could be filling in those minutes. So I bring back Hero ASAP. I don't worry about Twitter. I don't worry about Abe, and I just do that. Next up, let's rank the players in the series. I think the consensus has been that Miami's the worst team in the series, pretty much in every round. The consensus is that the Denver Nuggets, they're a huge, heavy favorite. They're the better team. Everyone loves to hype up the team. But then when you start getting into like ranking the top players, maybe it's not as big of a gap. Then you throw in Spoelstra, and maybe we have a closer series than many are anticipating, especially because you said, it's what have you done for me lately? And my number 5 is a guy that is playing well lately, more so than potential and what he could be. So, best player in the series?
Jokic.
Look at you. I'm proud of you.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
No, I know you'll have an angle and a narrative.
No. We'll get there at Cuck of the Week.
Okay. Yes, Nikola Jokic is the best player in the series. Number 2?
James Butler.
Himmy son. Number 3?
Jamal Murray.
Okay. I went with Jamal, but I think that if we were to rank importance of the series, like if Bam goes down, I think it's a wrap. If Jamal goes down, huge loss, but I think there's ways. So I still think Jamal's the best player out of those 2, but I think Bam might be more important. Is Bam your number 4?
Yep.
Okay.
I think this is where we're going to go separate ways.
Yeah. And I wanted to potentially get into like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, but I don't know if it really, but it does showcase like MPJ and Gordon and Caleb and Duncan and all KCP and even Bruce Brown. I think it's where those players rank out is what's going to swing the series. So who do you have at number 5?
My number 5 is Michael Porter Jr., and I think he is the biggest difference maker in this series because you have Bam and Jokic that are trying to or Bam is going to try and shut down Jokic. Mm-hmm. You have Jimmy and Jamal, who I assume will be guarding one another as well. And then who do the Heat look to as their 3rd scorer? They look to Bam Adebayo, which yikes, and they look to Caleb Martin, who don't get me wrong has been playing unbelievable, but this Caleb Martin is a 3-year for $20 million guy right now. He's made a shit ton of money in the playoffs, but again, looking at the macro perspective, Caleb Martin isn't really who you want the third guy to be.
So who's the second guy?
What do you mean?
You said the third guy. Who's the second
No,
guy?
Bam is the second guy.
Okay.
But for the third guy for me, and number 5 in this series is Michael Porter Jr. He's 6'10", can shoot over everybody. Has actually gotten better defensively than he has in past playoff series. But that's where I think the Nuggets have the biggest advantage in mismatches, is where I can kind of, like, if Bam is playing his best ball and Jokic is playing like shit, Bam can hold Jokic, maybe. Same goes for Jimmy and Jamal as well. Maybe not Jamal on the defensive end with Jimmy, but Jimmy's not really known in the regular season as a big scorer. Whereas I don't see any matchup for Michael Porter Jr. And if he's shooting efficiently, that's where I think the series gets away from Miami, because how do you guard 6'10" that can shoot like that?
But that's where I'm saying that seems like a lot of potential. I like MPJ. I think he has gotten better defensively. I think he is a key to the series. But 6'10" that could shoot, he's just not, he doesn't have that consistency. He just does. No, we do know. That's the thing, is in the future we might not know. But today we do know that he isn't 6'10" who can shoot over everyone. He only does it on some nights. The guy that has consistently been playing and went over his points prop in all 7 games last series is Caleb Martin. He has shown up, and his threes have fallen 2+ in the last 5 games. So for me, he's the 5th best player in the series. Does that swing the tide? Now, after that is where things get interesting. I think there's an argument that MPJ, Gordon, I love Bruce Brown, KCP could all rank out better than the next set of Heat players, which is ironic given the fact that we talk about the Heat's depth and their core, like their team ball that they play. But Gabe Vincent, Max Strus, Duncan Robinson, Love fell out of the rotation. Zeller fell out of the rotation. But what do you think? Is it more of an even series when you look at it this way than you thought?
Are you telling me to give me the prediction right now?
No, I'm just asking.
So I think that, let's just talk about the series as a whole. I think that everybody is in agreement that from a basketball standpoint, there's no real reason why anyone can pick Miami as the better basketball team. And for basketball reasons, pick Miami to win the series. I am in the camp where I think this series is a lot closer than people think. And that hurts me. And I'm going to play both sides so that I come out on top, obviously. But I view this series, Miami against Denver, in a similar fashion that I viewed Miami against Boston, where Boston was unequivocally the better team. But there was one thing that Miami had over Boston, and that was their mentality. I think Boston was a mentally weak team. I'm not saying that Denver is a mentally weak team, but I am saying that I think their inexperience could show in that regard. Plus, you bring up rest versus rust. For a team like Miami, who's built on their culture and all this stuff, throw away the 8-seed stuff, because that doesn't matter anymore. Like, we're going to look back if Miami Heat win this series and be like, they were fucking good. Yeah. There's going to be people that discredit it and all that, but like, Miami's run, in my opinion, I know the names that have been on the other side that Denver has taken down. Miami's run, in my opinion, has been far more impressive than the Nuggets playoff run, and that's what it comes down to for me. From a basketball standpoint, I have nothing to point to how Miami can beat Denver. But I just feel that this is a lot closer than people think, and the edge is going to be in the intangibles in coaching and mental toughness.
If you told me Nuggets in 4 or Heat in 7, I wouldn't be surprised anyway. The way Miami has played this postseason has been a masterclass. In this first series, it was Jimmy Butler just screw up everything and go ballistic. And then
the second round bye.
And then the last 2 series have been, let's shoot a shit ton of threes, let's play defense, and let's see what happens. Let's hope they miss shots and we make shots. And you know what? It's worked. Both teams have missed shots.
58% Miami. Don't use the V word, by the way, in terms of predicting. 58% Miami shot on open threes in the series against Boston. Highest of all time. Don't say the V word.
Why? It is.
Never know.
It's all variance, baby. It is all variance. All right, well, let's give our official predictions. Who do you got? I'll say this. Nuggets win game 1, and that's a lock. It's a lock.
I don't know.
It's a lock.
You probably said the same thing about Boston. You probably did.
Probably, but this one coming off, this is like the most cliche. You come off, I know you got an extra day of rest, but game
I don't know,
7
man.
versus.
All right, so here's how it's going to go down with me. I am rooting for the Nuggets to win this series.
Really?
I'm in a lose-lose position, right?
Yeah,
It's
this is rare for you.
No, this sucks. It's Jimmy left to Sixers and Jokic and Embiid. Storylines don't work out for me, as usual. I am rooting for the Nuggets to win this series. I think Miami's going to get it done. I really, really do. Like I said, I have no basketball analysis for that. In my fucking gut, Jack, I see Jimmy Butler hoisting the trophy. I just do. I think that they have a lot of intangibles that the Nuggets don't have, and that's what this series is going to come down to. I don't know what it is about this Heat team. I just see it.
Well, they could be a team of destiny.
Exactly.
It's a thing.
I just
it's a
see
thing
it.
in sports.
So I'm going to pick the Miami Heat in 6 games.
Okay.
I'm rooting for the Denver Nuggets. I win.
Also lose both
I
ways.
lose, yeah.
All right, I'm going to go. My official finals prediction is the Denver Nuggets in 7 or 5. I'm going to go in 5 games. I'm going to make a bet that the Heat's luck runs out to a little bit. And here's my basketball analysis.
But okay.
Here's
Let me stop you
analysis.
real quick right there. That's what I think we need to stop with. The Heat's luck. At what point is it not luck?
It's luck.
What is luck about it?
50. They are not. Are they the greatest shooting team of all time?
Okay, fair.
So,
but is it just that? Like, at what point he went through Giannis, he went through Jalen Brunson, which is probably more impressive.
So this is where I would say maybe it's not luck, maybe it's a hot streak, and I'm predicting that their hot streak ends because we have an 82-game sample size where they are one of the worst shooting teams in the league, and now we have what have they played? Probably 20 games, 18 games. We have an 18-game sample size where they're one of the best shooting teams in the league. That doesn't like, you take the 82-game sample size for the most part. Obviously, hot streaks happen and players get hot, so that is very real. What I'm betting against is that slows just a little, but I'm actually betting against the Nuggets going cold. And this is where why I think the Nuggets win the series. What has happened in the last few series in the Eastern Conference is that the sustainability of the other team's offense has dropped off a cliff. The Nuggets have the best offense in the NBA. So the Heat win Game 7 by allowing 80 points. That's a massive drop-off for Boston. A massive drop-off for Denver might be going from 120 to 105, which still would have beaten Miami in that Game 7. So I think that even with poor shooting, now the question is, can Miami be so hot that they can actually match Denver's offense? It just seems like a lot to overcome. They've overcome it in every round. I'm just going to bet, like how the NFL has changed. If the Eagles score 35 points in a Super Bowl, they win every Super Bowl. But in 2023...
How did you manage to get that in here?
But in 2023...
Seriously.
In 2023, you need 38 points, right? And it was always defense wins championships. And now I'm making a bet that offense wins championships, and the Nuggets are just going to outscore Miami because they're going to be able to keep it going.
I'm glad you said that because I didn't think about it in my analysis, because part of the reason I'm taking the Heat to win this is the exact opposite. I think Miami's defense is going to slow down Denver a little bit. And once Denver isn't moving the ball as well as they do, they're not getting these open shots. That's where things get scary and they go away from their game. So the reason I'm picking Miami is the exact opposite reason of why you're picking the Nuggets.
There we go.
I expect Miami to not to score with Denver.
Yeah.
Because I think once you try and do that, you're toast.
Cooked. Yeah.
I think Miami wins by holding Denver 105 points a game or something.
And I think that's going to be a tough task. They're the best offense in basketball. Jokic is the most efficient offensive player in the sport. And it's like, that's why I say Bam's so important. Because in theory, if there's a player that could slow down Jokic, I thought it was AD. I think it could be Bam. But if Jokic wins that matchup, it's over. Like, there is not. I think it could be a similar to LeBron Iguodala Finals MVP. Like, if the Heat win the series, Bam has to be Finals MVP for me. To me, that's the only way they win the series. Because I think that Jimmy could go for 40, 10, and 8, and they could still lose games. Similar to what happened in the bubble.
I just think that I think you're right. Where Bam probably should win MVP if the Heat
I'm not
win.
saying he will, but
if the Heat win based off how I think they'll win. But I think you saw it with the Eastern Conference Finals MVP. It's like the name is going to
Jimmy's
win.
hot.
Like you have the Jokic and I have Jimmy as the MVP.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Are there any long shot MVP bets in general, like top point scorer in the series, most threes, most rebound, anything? Or is it just like...
I'm big on MPJ.
Yeah.
I just am.
I think he could have an explosive game, like a 30-point guy, but the 30 points through 5 game, like averaging 30 through 5, just doesn't seem to be happening. Jamal can do it.
I just got a prediction. At one point this series, you will see Aaron Gordon put Bam on a poster.
Oh, yeah.
Like a big one.
Yeah.
Big.
Like, well, all right, if it happens, we'll put it up.
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah, above me.
Okay.
I predicted it.
All right, so who is your cuck of the week?
My cuck of the week is me, Jack. I've built such a brand on trying to tear others down to build up my guys, most notably Nikola Jokic. I've said some shit about him, right? And he's lost weight, so I'll give him that. We still haven't totally acquitted him of potential war crimes that his family might be involved in. But the reason I'm the cuck of the week, Jack, it's really hard to hate him. Like, there's nothing he gives you to hate Nikola Jokic. And I think since the playoffs and he's been in the national media more and you're seeing the quotes and you're seeing the Twitter clips, it's like he says all the right shit. He doesn't care about the extras. He doesn't care about the bullshit. He doesn't have Instagram. He just wants to hoop and ride horses. And like that is something that I appreciate is he'll respect his opponent. He'll respect his team. He'll respect his teammates, saying sometimes he's the best player on the court and sometimes he's not. And he doesn't give you those BS quotes that I can make fun of on the podcast. Like I don't get those with Nikola Jokic. And I've learned, and credit to me for being man enough to admit this, like Nikola Jokic is not hateable. I won't say he's likable, but he's not hateable. And so for that reason, over the last 4 years, I've tried to make something out of Nikola Jokic being me hating him, but I've since, and again, credit to me, sat back and realized that like there's nothing he really, really does to be hated. Like he's not fun for the NBA to win a ring either. That's another reason why I think that the Heat are going to win. There's other little shit. Like I saw a tweet today where like ESPN did an ad and the finals trophy, like in the reflection, has the Heat on the Heat home court, Jimmy Butler holding the trophy. And I'm just like, script. But yeah, cuck of the week is me because I had to swallow a slice of humble pie and sit back and realize that you really can't hate Nikola Jokic for anything. You don't have to like him, but it's hard to slander the guy.
If you were a true cuck, you might be swallowing something else. So I'm glad it was humble pie there. Why don't you ruminate on that?
What did you say?
Nikola Jokic, what did he say? Oh, I'll give you an angle to hate him. He hates sports betting.
So do I.
He said in his presser, like someone said to him, how's it feel to be a favorite in the series? And he said, who's making us a favorite? The media? No, brother. The nerds. Abe's old pals. Yeah. The geek squad is because you guys are the significantly better team. According to them. You know who's been wrong about that? Them, about Miami. Every single way along the way. South Florida, riding that underdog mentality. But it's Miami. You guys aren't underdogs. You're clubbers.
Oh, I forgot to add that. On top of I'm rooting for the Nuggets, that goes for the Knights as well.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing I would love for that monkey to get off my back.
Yeah.
You lost,
transfer that.
You lost 2 championships in 1 year. They might do it in a week.
Literally in a 24-hour period.
They might do it in a week.
Yeah.
So I am happy to give that crown of poverty to South Florida.
Now, if Miami wins both ships, it's pretty much over for a long period of time.
It's been over, brother.
My cuck of the week is the Angels organization. You've got 2 of the best baseball players of all time on your team. You're watching them dominate game in, game out, and you're paying them a shit ton of money knowing they're never going to do anything for your team. I just think that's cuckish behavior. It's like you're just watching something so good. You're building up and giving them money to. It's like investing in a company, making them amazing, watching them thrive. They're in the news. You built Google. And when Google makes all their money, it's going to be rewarded to someone else. You're getting none of it. So, yeah, Cuck of the week goes to the Angels. But I bet them to win the World Series, and they are not out of it.
You also bet me.
On Ohtani being traded.
Or Trout.
Really?
Yeah, Ohtani or Trout being traded by the trade deadline.
Interesting. I don't see Trout being traded. Ohtani definitely seems like the one that would be traded. But, hey, the Angels are 30-27. That bodes well for me for them not being traded. Like, this would be their, all right, fuck it, we're going all in. We'll figure out Ohtani's contract in the offseason type. But there's a lot of time before the trade deadline. They're 30-27, which is 3.5 out of the wild card. They at least is the best division in baseball.
I saw on Twitter today, or maybe Snapchat, Trout hit a bomb, Ohtani hit 2, and let me guess, they lost 9-2?
I actually think
they won 12-5. That's typically how it goes with the Angels, and that's a perfect reason to make them your Cuck of the week. I shouldn't sit like that because I'll get roasted on Twitter again. I gotta work on my posture.
Who is QB2 in the NFL? Our internet graphic of the week. I assume that they're putting Davis Mills as QB1. So other, you can't use him. But the options listed, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, Jalen Hurts, or other. Who's the second best quarterback in the NFL?
It's interesting. Lamar wasn't on that.
What do you mean? He's in other.
I don't see him. I see a question mark. It's Jalen fucking Hurts. The guy just had a spectacular year. This is what we do in sports. We're prisoner of the moments. He's earned the right for now to be the second best quarterback in the NFL behind Patrick Mahomes. Josh Allen, number 3. I still have Josh Allen ahead of Joe Burrow. And then I have Herbert like far away from those guys.
Yeah.
But I think, look, whether you have Hurts, Burrow, Allen, I'm going to throw Lamar in there. I'll be nice. Whether you... Any order of those
no
four.
Kenny Pickett or Derek Carr for the Steelers Saints crowd?
Maybe not this year. I think any order of those 4 quarterbacks at this point is like you can make an argument for any of them. And no one can really there's no definitive he's not number 2 in the NFL. But being an Eagles fan, watching the season that Jalen Hurts just had, watching the Super Bowl performance that Jalen Hurts just had, I rewatched those highlights the other day.
He was good. And his throw almost made it to the end zone on the last play.
Okay. Jalen Hurts is the second best quarterback in the NFL until proven otherwise, and that could come in week 1 of the NFL. That could come in week 8. That could come in the playoffs next year. It's fluid, brother. You always said your NBA superstar list is fluid.
Yeah.
So are the top quarterbacks in the league. But
agreed.
It's Patrick Mahomes' world, and we're all just living in it, unfortunately.
I'm going to get some fluids in my mouth and
Pause!
And cool off what is going to come off as a hot take.
Come off?
Yes, come off as a hot take. So when I look at this list of quarterbacks, most people are going to say today, I'm going to shift the question because Eagleson didn't put a time spot on this. I'm going to go with Trevor Lawrence. I think that Trevor Lawrence is the second best quarterback in the NFL. When that will actually come to fruition, it might take it till week 8.
Do you get off to clicks? If you just hear
No, I don't hot take them.
If you just
this is a big step for me to even go.
If you just hear this, is that what you get off to?
I'm not trying to. That's the thing. I don't go with the hot take route. But
yeah, no, this is definitely...
This one is.
Okay.
This one is a hot take. That Trevor Lawrence is the second best quarterback in the NFL.
Why?
I just think...
He's fire.
Yeah. I put him... So I put him in this category. Burrow, Allen... I think Trevor Lawrence is better than Justin Herbert.
So, Jack, you think Trevor Lawrence is the second best quarterback in the NFL, so you would rather Trevor Lawrence in purple than Lamar Jackson?
For sure.
Under the same contract?
For sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think you just dug yourself in a little bit of a hole on your side.
No.
I gotta go with it.
I'd take Trevor Lawrence right now over all these guys.
Over Lamar Jackson?
Over every single guy
so
on this list, besides Patrick Mahomes.
If Trevor Lawrence right now received an identical contract to Lamar Jackson,
for sure.
You're doing a 1-for-1 trade.
100%.
I'm so proud of
I'm
you.
doing it over, by the way, every single player. Joe Burrow, Josh Allen.
Why?
I just think he's going to be the guy. I like that.
You were early on this, so I'll give that to you.
No, I just think he's going to be the guy. Like when I look at these guys, I think these are Herbert. I got to see him in the right system. Like I actually think the coaching has really limited him. He gets an unfair take. But I think you plug T-Law in, and what he's going to have this year is going to be somewhat comparable to Jalen Hurts' situation last year. You're going to have the best coach for him. You're going to have stability in the system. You just added Calvin Ridley. I don't think people understand. Like Calvin Ridley, when he's playing, is as good, if not better, than AJ Brown. It's been, no, that's not even.
Whoa. Yes, it is.
Calvin Ridley.
I thought you were going to say Devontae Smith,
Calvin
and I was
Ridley's
like, sure,
a
fine.
top 5 wide receiver in football. I'm telling you, people don't understand how good Calvin Ridley is.
Calvin Ridley is better than Devontae Adams?
No.
Tyreek Hill?
Depends.
Jesus. Justin Jefferson?
No, but then
Jamar Chase?
he's 5th.
Cooper Kupp? There's 5 right there.
Same thing. Fluidity.
Sounds to me like...
All right, so you know what? Call him top 10. Is A.J. Brown in top 5? No. So, okay. So...
It's better than Stephon Diggs, Calvin Ridley?
Yeah. Now, he was better, but now it's been time. I'm just saying, you get best coach for him, you add Calvin Ridley, and you're in a shit division. Same as Philly last year. I know Dallas was fine, and I guess the Giants
3
were
teams
technically.
made the playoffs. I don't know what you're talking about.
But, all right, so think about the AFC South. So they're going to be dominating games. They're going to be playing from ahead in 6 of their 17 games. I think that, Lawrence is my MVP.
I was going to say, when are you placing the MVP bet? Because
for sure.
this seems like
this is
the jump. You're
betting on the jump, the breakout, the come out, the fluids, the hot take. Trevor Lawrence, QB2 in the NFL.
This has been a pause-worthy podcast today.
Let's do some ranked.
Ooh.
Ladies and gents. Also, make sure if you're made it this far in the pod, you subscribe to the channel because that would make sense. You like the content, so you subscribe. Ranked. The greatest jerseys in sports history.
I think we've done this before.
We have. And we're going to have a conversation with Eagleson off the air. Look, it's not bad to bring up great topics, to play the hits, to rehab the conversation, have it in a different light. But I do believe we've had this conversation before.
There's so many options.
Yeah, there is, which is why it's an okay question.
I'll go number 3. I'll go first.
Okay.
My
All right.
number 3.
Let me lead it in so we can get this up on social. Ranking the greatest jerseys in sports.
Number 3. Debuted last year, I believe. They're icy as hell. Cincinnati Bengals, all whites, white helmets. You get that in the snow. That shit's clean.
Mm-hmm. My number 3, for how bad they are, those Packers blue throwback jerseys with the mustard helmets.
Do you love them because of how bad they are?
Yeah, they're so bad, they're great. That's my number 3.
Yikes.
Number 2, the Blackhawks sweaters. They just added the top prospect since McDavid, and there's nothing better than a clean hockey sweater. I saw Saquon's Instagram recently of him wearing a hockey jersey, hockey sweater to work out in. It's just a fucking move. Like, everyone looks good if you look good in a hockey sweater. Blackhawks have great sweaters. They're my number 2.
Yeah, if you're ugly, it's hard to look good. You can take that away.
Yeah.
My number 2, and I think I said this the last time, and it's a weird and obscure one, but for whatever reason, my entire life, I've just thought they are the cleanest, most beautiful, especially the logo jerseys of all time. It's the classic St. Louis Cardinals. You've got the bat across the chest with the cursive writing, the 2 Cardinals on the bat. I think it is just so clean, so classic. I'm a huge white jersey guy. I always have been. An all-white uni does it for me. But that specific jersey, maybe it has to do with the fact that I played Little League on the Cardinals, but we didn't wear the white jerseys. We wore the reds.
And the Reds almost aren't good jerseys.
No.
It's like the contrast.
Exactly.
I feel like
You got the
works
red
for
down the side, the little trim. I've just always loved the St. Louis Cardinals jerseys, and I think their logo specifically is one of the best in sports.
I'm really excited to see how you transition to number 1 because you said those are the best jerseys. So what becomes number 1 if that's your 2?
Yeah, this is perfect, actually. I set this up perfectly. Right now, the Cardinals' best jerseys, in my opinion. The best jerseys of all time. Anything from the late 90s, early 2000s NBA. You've got I was looking on Twitter today and I saw the logo switches from like the old Piston logo to the new Piston. You had the New Jersey Nets going to clean Brooklyn Nets. Everything got very modernized and just like sleek. Whereas you had the old, even the Vancouver Grizzlies, the teal, the checkered down the side, the old Sixers uniforms during the AI days. Nike ruined NBA jerseys. As simple as that. There's too many of them. The colors don't make sense. I mean, look at, if the Heat wear that fucking dumbass newspaper letter jersey that they wear,
think they have those
or if they wear the Trix yogurt pink and blue, what the fuck was that? Nike ruined NBA jerseys, and if you go back to when Reebok had the rights to the jerseys, those were the prime. That's what I grew up loving basketball. That's when I fell in love with basketball.
What's your favorite of the crew? Like the Magic pinstripes are iconic.
The Magic pinstripes are iconic. The Rockets pinstripes, the navy blue. You've got the teal Detroit Pistons. You've got the Memphis Grizzlies ones with the big grizzly across the chest.
Yeah.
It was just everything was fire.
If you didn't wear one of those to a frat party in 2018, you were not getting the job.
You were probably
done.
wearing a Kobe Lower Marion jersey.
My number one greatest jersey in sports are the powder blue Chargers, LA Chargers, but technically the San Diego Chargers. And I think when you think about, of course, when you think about the greatest jerseys of all time, you normally tie a player to it. The Blackhawks, I don't necessarily have a player to tie. You could go Kane, you could go Taves. If you go with those throwbacks, you go like Shaq in the Magic, or Hakeem in the Rockets, or like who would even Mike Bibby in the Vancouver jersey, like
the Kings jerseys, but that around then, the Vlade Divac days, the Peja days, are fire.
But for me, what makes the powder blues so great is almost that you couldn't wear them today in a throwback fashion, because it would be a disservice to LaDainian Tomlinson and Antonio Gates, and Sean Merriman.
I had an Antonio Gates jersey.
Yeah, who like they're the guys that got to rep those jerseys. And if I saw fucking Quentin Johnson in the powder blues, I'm kind of like,
And they wear them a lot more now. They felt like a rarity back then.
Yeah.
And that was kind of the special aspect to it.
The lightning bolt just popped. Now the bolt just doesn't pop the
Nike
same.
ruined NFL jerseys too, in my opinion.
Do you think Fanatics will ruin? They're doing hockey.
I won't.
Do you think they'll ruin the Blackhawks sweaters?
Truthfully, Jack, I can't picture what the Blackhawk sweater looks like in my head right now.
Really?
It's like that big thing on the front.
Yeah.
The Blackhawk.
Yeah.
The fuck's a Blackhawk?
All right. I'm not trying to get canceled out here.
No, actually, what's a Blackhawk?
It's you know.
Is it an actual bird? Is there a bird called the Blackhawk?
No. Oh no. Eagleson.
Wait. You're saying that's a stupid question.
It's not a bird. It's like a tribe.
Oh, hold on. Oh, well, when you type in what is a Blackhawk, the first link that comes up is Chicago Blackhawks name and logo controversy.
Yeah.
So Eagleson, what's up, dude?
Yeah. What's up? That was hard to listen to, Abe. I'm sorry.
What'd he say?
That was hard to listen to. You should, like, if you take one off, you'll be able to hear.
I don't
it.
want to listen to
Pop
it.
one off. Yeah. There you go. I have a little bit of a proposition for you guys.
Go on.
So, July 2nd to 3rd, the Toronto Argonauts and the Toronto Blue Jays are both in Toronto. Swag Kelly, the new quarterback of the Toronto Argonauts. Does that interest you guys at all? Come down to Toronto?
During America's birthday, July 4th weekend.
Oh, you guys would be back for
He
that,
also said
right?
come
Get
down
back
to
the
Toronto.
4th?
I know. Where do you think we live?
Up to Toronto.
Where do you think we live?
Down there in that big country somewhere. I don't know where you guys
Right.
are.
So
Just
we live
come
down
up here,
there.
down
in the
there.
big
It doesn't
country.
matter.
How would we get to Toronto? Would we go?
Hey,
You think
you're
fly?
thinking about it too much. Come to Toronto. Come to Toronto. You guys have never been before, right? You guys ever
I
been
went
to
to
Canada?
Toronto as a child.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, remember much of it or no?
Yeah, I remember me, my brother, and my dad went to a Blue Jays Rangers game. I think Alex Rodriguez was on the Rangers at that time. I remember him hitting a home run near us.
Wow.
Isn't there like a shoe museum in Toronto?
A shoe museum? There might be. I can't say that I'd be lying if I said I knew a whole lot about the
I
shoe
want to
museum.
say
There
during
very
the
well could
baseball
be, though.
game, my mom went to the shoe museum, and that's kind of all I
Yeah?
got from Toronto.
Wow.
Okay. the
How
important
far
stuff.
is Quebec from Toronto?
From Toronto, are you talking like Montreal or just getting into Quebec?
Sure.
Yes.
I don't know.
Montreal? It'd be like 7-8 hours probably.
Oh, okay. Then I don't think
Montreal?
I've ever been to Toronto because I've been to Quebec.
No?
But I barely remember it, even though I was like
Quebec.
fully 12. Quebec.
Quebec.
It's French. It's Quebec.
Andrew?
Damn, the way he just said that there was actually really good. The last one that you did, Jack?
Quebec.
Yeah, it
Quebec?
sounded like
That
he was like seducing me.
No,
almost
it's
like a
French. It's French.
language.
Yeah.
You know,
Love
I know-
language.
It is
I know
it is French.
I got Eagleson all horned
Yeah.
up over there talking Quebec.
Yeah.
So I don't think I've been. Abe makes a good point. First off, that it's
That is,
America.
I didn't really think about that.
Y'all got
Yeah.
glizzies up there? I can make it work.
Oh
they
yeah,
got poutine,
of course
though.
they do. The
You have poutine.
The Toronto hot dogs are amazing. Yeah, of course you could have poutine. You probably get hot dog in the poutine.
I can't make it, unfortunately. Not trolling. We're going to NASCAR in Chicago, which is way more
okay.
American. Like celebrating July 4th in Chicago on the streets of Chi-Town.
Can I come?
Are you interested in coming?
Chicago in the summer? Fuck yeah.
Chicago is so good in the summer. In
Yeah.
the winter, it's actually hell. So, what is the second and the third, though? Is that a Saturday, Sunday?
I
Yeah.
think it's a Sunday, Monday, I believe.
No, I think the fourth is on Monday.
Fourth is a Tuesday.
Is
I
it?
think. This is horrible radio.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, so it's
The fourth is a
it's
Tuesday.
a Sunday, Monday.
The fourth is a Tuesday.
Sunday and
Yeah.
Monday. So, I can make it up by Monday, and it would be a short flight. But
For the
Casey
Argos
can't.
game.
Argos game. I
Yeah.
think,
I think
I'm
I'd
gonna
rather
pass.
save the trip for when we can go to University of London.
Yeah.
Come on. Swag Kelly doesn't interest you guys at all?
No.
If you want us to come on the pod, sure.
Honestly, no.
But like watching football,
Maybe you could get him. I don't think it's very hard to talk to them after. There's not much security there at the CFL games. They kind of hang around.
Is
There's
there more
actually not security
funny.
at Oakland A's.
Yeah, I was
games.
gonna say the Oakland A's this year have been a story to behold.
I
They're-
kind of, I'm in
Dude,
love.
I'm in love with the A's. They're 12-45, the most losses before June in MLB history.
It's the most loud quitting vibe. It really vibes with our generation.
Dude,
Like,
it vibes with our mentality. Is
Yeah.
like, if you're good, go for it.
Yeah.
If you're not, lean into it. And they're leaning the fuck.
no,
into
but they're also being like, we're not even gonna be here next year, so fuck y'all.
Have fun.
type. Yeah, like enjoy this D.
Let's
type.
see. Are the A's at home tonight?
They've won 2 in a row, by the way.
I know. Their
against the
second or
Bravos.
first 2-game winning streak. How much do you think you can get into an A's game for?
$2.
That's crazy.
The fact that they charge you to get in is insane. They make more money. You buy a hot dog, they make more margin than selling.
They didn't win today. Lost
lost.
4-2. To improve to.
So we're doing this MLB Stadium tour. I want to do an A's game, but just
take over the stadium.
Yeah.
Why don't you just buy out the stadium,
We probably could, right?
dude? All right. So there's how many thousand seats?
I-
15.
I think that we could probably
Get a good group rate for $10K for the entire stadium.
Yeah.
They're not making $10K in ticket sales all year, dude.
So poverty. That's so tragic. And I just recalled that I had talked to someone like years ago who was at the A's and was like hyping up the new stadium plans and everything. I wonder if he's still working there. Probably not.
That'd be sick.
Eagleson, what's your finals prediction?
Yeah. For the NBA? Heat, obviously. What do you think?
And
So
the Cup,
Florida Vibes. Of course they're going to win.
Right.
talk Cup to
And
us.
for which?
Oh yeah, what the puck?
Talk Cup to us.
Yeah. Yeah, so Florida's going to win. That's essentially what it is. Aiden Hill, Vegas' goalie, he is going to get absolutely destroyed. Florida has so much momentum. Obviously, that's a huge part of it. But it's ridiculous how much tougher they are than every other team they've played against. They're playing like legitimately an old school style of hockey. I'm sure you've heard people say that before. But people are genuinely afraid to go into the corners with them. And another huge thing is their top star player, Matthew Tkachuk, is a fucking menace. Most of the other star players, they are pretty soft. Unfortunately, it's that situation with Toronto. He kills people, and then he scores. He had like over 100 points this year.
What'd you call him?
He's a killer. Watch out for Matthew Tkachuk.
No. I know Jason Tatum's friend. What'd you call
Yeah.
him?
He's a menace.
A menace. Okay.
Surely he
Yeah,
won't come
what
up
do you think
short
I
of the
called
Knights will win, and I'll be able to call him Matthew Cuck. That'll
Yeah, surely Tkachuk of the week won't be Matthew Tkachuk.
Anyways, like other guys to look out for from them, Carter Verhaeghe, another Leafs guy, he's going to be awesome for them. And then it really comes down to Bobrovsky. He's been standing on his head these entire playoffs. He's just going to shut the door. As much as I think Vegas is a good team, I did pick them to go to the finals. I think Florida's
Credit to you.
too hot right
Nice.
now, and they're
Nice.
yeah.
Well done.
Thank you. Florida's gonna win. Like Aiden Hill, he's pretty much a rookie. Vegas' goalie, and I think he's just gonna
Vegas.
crumble under the pressure
He
as much
says
as he has been
Vegas.
already.
You talk
wait,
about this
Who'd you
ser-
pick in the East?
Toronto.
Oh,
Gotcha.
okay, yeah.
You talk about
Yeah.
this series, and granted, I know nothing about either team pretty much, other than the 4 minutes of hockey I watched in Game 7 or Game 4 of Florida Carolina.
Wait, what?
Yeah, last
Yeah.
series.
I thought you watched some Leafs ball and Game 7 Panthers.
Fakely,
Yeah.
that was a joke of a squad. I don't call
Yeah.
that hockey. You talk about this series as if the disparity between Florida and Vegas is as similar as it is between Denver and Miami in the NBA. Like you're talking about Florida as if they're unequivocally the better team, but the Vegas odds, Vegas is favored.
Yeah. So you know what? It is actually similar to that in a sense. Vegas, you might say, is on paper the better team, but there's just the two big things. Florida has all the momentum and the goaltending. Vegas has very shaky goaltending, and they did beat Dallas pretty handedly, but I don't know, man. There's just something with Florida. Abe, almost like what you said with the Heat. I can see Matthew Tkachuk raising that cup. It just kind of feels right.
And I can see.
But they touched the trophy,
What?
and Vegas didn't.
They did touch the trophy.
Wait, how'd
Yep.
they get access?
And then
to touch
Vegas
the
refused.
No,
trophy?
not the cup. They touched the Eastern Conference.
The
trophy.
Well, you're
yeah,
allowed to do that.
I think the Prince of Wales trophy
Yeah.
or something like that. Yeah, so they touched it,
Whoa,
and then
what?
Vegas.
Prince of
Yeah,
Wales
why does
trophy?
Wales have the trophy? I don't understand that.
Wait, say that again.
Why does Wales have a trophy? The Prince of Wales. Why is he getting
I believe it was somebody's name or something. I don't know. Fucking know.
Then
what the
someone's
story
name was
is
the
behind
Prince of
those
Wales? No. Cap.
I don't know what it was.
This is your job.
I don't know.
Wait, I don't get it. If they didn't
I
touch the
completely
actual
made that
Stanley
up.
Cup,
I don't.
what's
The
the big
conference
deal?
finals trophies. Who cares?
Eagleson, isn't it bad luck to touch any trophies?
It is. But then the other ones say they don't believe in that superstitious shit, and it
Well, if
doesn't
you
matter.
touch the trophy,
So
obviously you're not going to be like, well, I think it's bad luck.
Wait a
but
second. Hold on.
Of course, right.
Hold on.
Yeah.
The point, the
Yep.
logic is we don't touch the conference trophy because that's not what we're going for. So it's bad luck.
So
to celebrate.
historically,
Yeah.
they bring out the trophy for a
a
celebration, and
superstition.
they all just look at it.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what Vegas did. They didn't
It's like
touch
a
it. They
whole
all
thing.
kind of huddled around it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they took the picture with it, but none of them touched it. Hockey players are very
I actually
superstitious.
like that. That's like my favorite.
Jimmy
thing.
just did it. Jimmy's like, no, I'll touch the next one. When there's
Right.
the Eastern Conference
Yeah.
Finals trophy.
Right.
That's weird. You can touch it.
No, it's
I'm not
Hockey
saying
players
go
are
around and
very,
fucking
very
put it over your
superstitious
head
like
the
nah, don't
Stanley
touch
Cup.
it. That's why I'm going with the Knights.
Yeah.
That's my analysis. Plus,
Yeah.
Eagleson picked the Panthers, which really makes me like the Knights. I'm investing in the Knights.
Yeah. Knights. Fuck the Panthers and South Florida.
Yeah.
Take this crown of 2 championships lost.
We're winning all 3. We're winning all 3 this year.
Who's we?
Yeah.
Get ready.
I was actually
South
before you
Florida.
made that
You
statement.
have a We the North poster in the back of your room for the Toronto
remember,
Raptors.
he thinks that the South is up.
No, I
so
don't.
North, he probably thinks it's North Florida.
No, fair.
Yeah, exactly.
But I was going to give you love
Exactly.
because when we talked QB2, you didn't even come on here talking about Chubby Boy. So I saw George Kittle actually got a partnership with Chubby's. Do you know if Tua's involved potentially?
It's called Chubby, not
I mean, we
obese.
just kind of steal all the San Francisco players, so there could be something there. I vaguely saw that. I didn't read much into it though.
Okay.
I think he wasn't in the graphic
thing with
solely
Kittle.
because he couldn't fit, right? That's
Yeah.
probably it. Because, like, what other reason would there be that he's not
Come
included
on.
in that graphic?
Yeah, who's better?
Come on.
T-Law or Tua?
Oh, come on.
T-Law. I'm with you, Jack. I love Trevor Lawrence.
Okay.
He's so fucking good.
He's just so
But-
prototypical. I think people love him.
Yeah.
He's like Michael
That's
Porter
pretty much
Jr.
it.
to a degree. It's like
Yeah.
6'10", can shoot. Like,
But-
Gold
what's
box.
missing? What's missing? All right.
But speaking of that graphic though, the AFC quarterbacks are fucking stacked
Oh,
compared to the
have
NFC.
you been in a coma
It's
for
kind of
4
crazy.
months?
Did you hear Rodgers is on the Jets now?
Doesn't matter. They're the Jets.
That's fair.
Fair.
I'll say that,
fair.
and I'll
That's
say
very
that every
fair
time because yeah.
I'll accept that
No.
that analysis on the Jets 10 times out of 10.
Very
yeah.
fair.
That's all I'll give them to.
All right, fam. Well, put your predictions for the NBA Finals in the comment section below. Make sure you hit subscribe. If you're correct, Eagleson will give you a what we were talking about earlier in the episode. So
Fluids.
hopefully everyone has an amazing weekend, enjoys the finals of both Stanley Cup and the NBA Finals, and we'll talk to you next week. Much love. Peace.